Good morning guys, welcome to Flory Models. Here we are on Wednesday morning, the 3rd of July 2016. And today, to be honest, a little bit later getting to you, been sorting everything out, going through emails. I've also sent all your messages to you to get your addresses for all the prizes that we gave away on Saturday's show. So if you have got that, let me know ASAP and I'll get them straight out to you. Thanks for all the feedback on the computer issues and everything else like that. To be honest, last night what I actually did was stress test the system. So when I did that, I loaded it up with some of my favourite games, to be honest, and I maxed all the settings and I ran the complete arse off the system. It's not a cooling issue, and to be honest, it's doing it right now, and it is rendering okay now. I think what it was, I had obviously a software compatibility thing that was killing Windows or whatever it is with using Sony Vegas. To be honest, the other computer upstairs is the backup, which is the old one, so that's not a problem. I can still edit and do all the bits and pieces. It's just a little bit annoying when you've got a new PC and you think it's all singing, all dancing and better, and then all of a sudden it starts to turn itself off. So I was a little bit worried about it, because obviously that's what the old one used to do. Anyway, as I said, I was flying with the Vive, the VR set on last night for a good 3 hours. I also then put on Battlefront and all the rest of it. I maxed everything and it performed flawlessly with no problem at all. It does get hot, you might hear it now, it's running. The only thing I have changed, I've turned the fan system from being into quiet mode into sort of optimal. So it is making a lot more noise over there, you can probably hear it. But that's because it's rendering, and as anyone knows, rendering a video, especially in higher resolutions like we're doing here, you know, a 30-minute video is like, I don't know, 3 gig. It's a lot of crunching and number dating and everything else, and although it's using everything, it's using the GPU, it's using the CPU and everything else, it still literally is making the system run at the moment at 65%, so it's using everything to do it, where the other PC was using 100% to try and do it. So consequently, that's what it is. But thanks for all the tips and tricks and all the bits and pieces, but I think we've actually got there, and as I said, it did yesterday's vlog fine. It's done another edit video that I'm working on at the moment, done that one fine. The new PC video, it did that one fine, and everything else, and they're all videos you're going to get throughout the week. So, to be honest, my plan for today is a little bit exciting. I've got a delivery coming in of all the new Rebel stuff, although it looks like for some reason TIE Fighter's not coming in. I don't know if they're out of stock, but I've got the X-Wing coming in, and obviously got the Millennium Falcon coming in, as well as other kits as well. So there's a bit of sci-fi, there's a little bit of resin coming in, and everything else, because obviously we didn't do any ordering last week because of obviously you guys coming down. So I've got that one coming in, so that should be a lot of fun. So up today, you're probably going to get, I don't know which one I'm going to work it. I might put up the one about the new PC and the HTC Vive, that might go up today, and I might keep Steve actually until Thursday as originally planned, because technically Thursday is review day, so you're going to get one from Steve and one from me on Friday. And what that enabled me to do, because to be honest they're already done, is to really push on heavily with this guy. And to be honest, this guy is really, I must admit, coming together now. My plan is today, once I've got this little bit of editing done that I've got going on over there, I've got to pop out to a meeting, do that one. I'm going to come back and I'm going to appreciate this and hopefully get the first bit of colour onto this on the underside. Then we can work about the top sides, getting all of those done, and then I should think by the end of the week we'll be pretty much getting there. We're going to be well into the weathering stage as we make our way through. So as soon as deliveries land and the bits and pieces, I'll be sure to let you know, and I'll get back to you, because obviously we want to share those, and we'll do an unboxing live at lunchtime with you guys. Okay, and also I have got some other parcels over there we need to have a look at that I've had in the last few days. So till lunchtime everybody, happy modelling, take care. Okay, as we can see, we have the next part of the 190 being rendered and gone up now. It's only around about 25 minutes, purely because the next part is like 40 minutes, so it's going to completely overlap the two. Okay, that could be up with you today. I've got so much footage for it, it's unbelievable actually. I've got the one about obviously the new computer and the Vive. I've got that now, we've got Steve's, we've got the other one. So I'm on a bit of an editing sort of whiz at the moment. Anyway, managed to get on quite well with this morning. So we tidied up a few little errors on this one and a few little bits and pieces. We've got the canopy temporary fitted. Now this is the other one, he says, looking desperately for, where is the other one, the proper one? The other proper one, oh, it's down here because I've glued it. Okay, so this is the proper canopy, it's going to go on. This is the closed one. Now the difference between the open and the closed one is that the open one is a lot narrower than the closed one, so that's why you get two, which is a bit weird because, I don't know, I presume it must flex in real life the way it closes together. Okay, so that is the difference. So just for the point of view of painting this up, we've got the second canopy into position there. I've masked up and glued in the front one. We've temporarily put the front on. I think I'm going to repaint the entire thing around the front there once it's all done by hand, all right, and everything else. But we are now fixed all those problems, all the little errors, and as I said, hopefully this afternoon what I want to do is give this a the pre-shading done onto that one, and maybe even get the light coat of paint down onto it. If not, obviously, because the reviews are done already, what I'm going to do is Thursday, Friday, I'm going to carry on with it and push through quite heavily. So I'm really looking forward to getting on with that one. It's definitely starting to look like a bit of a 190 for sure. Right, okay, the other thing as well, as promised, is this has arrived. Now, I don't know the best place to do this, probably down in here. If I shift this camera, okay, and I'll put you around here. I have got a couple of little mail time deliveries. If I just stick this down so you guys can see exactly what is in the box. Okay, now I'm going to need a knife. Right, so this actually is quite exciting because I've been waiting on this for a little while now. So what we have, or hopefully we'll have down in here, is a box of goodies. Okay, now I must admit I went on a bit of a sci-fi thing the other day purely because, well, it was cheap. Okay, but oh, it's upside down. So let's go through this, see what we have. First up, we have this. Now, a lot of you know what this is. This is the Fine Molds Reeboks for the Revell have done. Okay, this is the original 1/48 scale X-Wing, which was, let's face it, the definitive X-Wing, but nothing would come close, okay, because it was a fantastic kit. Unfortunately though, I would prefer that one down there, which is the same money. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get that one out and we're going to do a side-by-side comparison of the two, purely because, well, let's face it, I think the Bandai one is the same money as this. The Bandai one is a superior quality. The Bandai one is a superior fit. Doesn't even need glue. The Bandai one has working wings. The Bandai one has LEDs. The Bandai one has sound effects. This one, well, it doesn't. Okay, but anyway, you're paying roughly the same type of money. That's that. We've also got Viper. This is the Battlestar Galactica stuff. As you know, I do like my sci-fi. I'm trying to just sort of get everything in place. Let's just say that, okay? Got some sci-fi coming up in the future. Okay, we've also got the other one. This is the Mark II Viper. So that's the original Mark 1, and we got the Mark II, so both of those. So they're coming on in the near future. This here, that's a worry when it's yellowed already. This here is casting clear plastic. Okay, so it's a clear casting set. Just thought I'd give it a whirl. I'm slightly worried though that this is yellowed already, because let's face it, the yellow's going to carry on and going to go through. So I just thought I'd get it, but I'm not holding my breath about that at all. We've also got, I'm planning on doing the Edard G6, as you know. So this is the radio communications for the rear end. And then hopefully, which has been a little bit squashed, but it should be okay. This is the G6 cockpit. Now we've already looked at the G5 of both of these, but this is actually designed for the G6. So that's why I've got that one in. But I'm that impressed with the browsing stuff. As you know, I've gone out and bought the other ones. Gives you a clue of what I've got coming up sometime in the near future. To be honest, I was trying to get something else of the browsing set for them, but they went out of stock on me. But that gives you a clue of what could be possibly coming. Right, okay. Now, as you can see, an empty box. Not quite. This is what we have been waiting for. Oh, do you know what? The last time I saw a box like this, I can't actually tell you, but it was another one which was a test shot from a company and it had no packaging at all, and I was like, so okay. So anyway, here we go. I'm guessing this is the same. I think this, I don't know, this could be slightly different actually. I'm hoping this isn't the test shot one. What I do would be nice. I'll put my knife down somewhere. Knife, knife, knife. Oh, scrap that, it's in here. So this is the long-awaited this beast. Okay, so what is it? This is the Fine Molds Millennium Falcon. Now, I am going to do a review on that. I don't know if I'll be able to have time to do it this week. If I can, I'll get it done for you and all the rest of it. But this is the actual legendary Fine Molds Millennium Falcon 1/72 scale. Now, obviously, as we all know, Revell's got the licensing to be reboxing them all after Fine Molds lost the licensing, because I do believe probably Bandai got it, or Dragon, one of the others, took over from them, okay? So what they've cleverly done is, instead of just losing all the tooling for this, is that they're obviously making them and then selling the tooling, as in the actual molds themselves and everything, to Revell, and then Revell are reboxing them in their own box. But to give you an idea of the size of this thing, this is the 1/72 one. Is it as good as everyone makes out? Now, to be honest with you, I have built this. I built it donkey's years ago as a commission, and I wasn't massively impressed. The level of detail, although it's good, is not as sharp and as crisp as I think I've worked on now with the Bandai one especially. Just seems to be a little bit softly moulded and everything else like that. But it is what it is. It is incredibly expensive. In fact, I'll just give you a little bit of a thing on that, if I can get that to sit there and hold it with my massive gut. Okay, so the price of this particular kit is going to set you back 275 quid. Okay, so that gives you an idea of how expensive this is. But on the other hand, I have seen them going on eBay north of 400 quid for the same thing. So in some ways you could say, well, you're saving a price because all the people who've like holded on to the fine mold ones, chucking them out at stupid prices and everything else. Okay, but you just said, when you look at it, the price difference, you know, you've got this guy, the X-Wing, that's 80 quid. For the same money, you could go out and buy the Bandai one. And just to put this all into perspective, let me just find it. Here's the Mark 1 and the Mark 2. When you're talking about other people's licensing and all the rest of it, these particular kits, which are 1/32, okay, still pretty good kits in their own right and all the rest of it, they're only 30 quid. Okay, so I think you're paying for a lot of licensing there. But there we go, that's those bits in. As I say, it's a strange old day today because literally I'm all over the place trying to keep up with everything. But what I'm going to try and do is get a little bit more work done on the 190 if I can. I'd love to get that done, but as I say, I'm working my way through editing. To be honest, I've got two lots of editing. I've got another machine upstairs, the old one. I've been editing on that. As that's rendering, like this one is down here, this one's now rendering as well. So I'm just trying to keep up, but what it does mean is I've got tons and tons of stuff for you guys over the next few days. So there's going to be something definitely up with you every single day, probably even over the weekend. Actually not this weekend because I'm not here, but next week I'm away Monday, Tuesday as well, so this is to make up with it, because obviously there'll be a load of stuff put up for that as well. So there we go, join me tonight where I may or may not have the pre-shading done onto the actual Focke-Wulf, and we can have a look at some more stuff in detail. So there you go, and quite right, as I said, no, I haven't got around to pre-shading yet, unfortunately. First job for the morning, obviously. What we did find out though was what was wrong with the big computer, the new one. It was a software problem. It was basically, I tried to do a shortcut and copy everything from one computer to the other. Obviously the Windows is slightly a different version, I think, and it was a DLL file and it was corrupting the system. Computer then crashed, didn't know what to do, and it shut itself down. Fixed that, and to be honest, we've done 2 more renders this afternoon on it, and it's been cranking out the videos at a pretty much 3 times faster than the old one did. So kudos to that one, found that little problem. Again, we always knew it was going to be something simple, but that took up a little bit of my time this afternoon, so I hadn't had a chance to get this one pre-shaded, but it is ready to be pre-shaded now. So that part is up on the site, and as I said, we talk about a few little issues. We talk about using the Alex scrapers, which I know a lot of people probably don't think they're worth the money and all the rest of it. Trust me, they're one of those tools where I use it all the time, and it's just something I seem to reach for more than others. Let's just put it like that. It's well worth the money and the investment onto that one. So we took care of those. We took care of a little bit of super glue, a little bit of filling of the holes, and then we generally check round it all, make sure it's okay. Masked up the canopy. Again, not exactly brilliant. The mask skirts, we're talking the GHW ones. I'd probably stick with the Edard ones if I was you, and do it that way because they don't quite fit. took care of all of those, put those in, glued those in, and then we've given it a coat of primer, as you can see, all ready for the pre-shading. And to be honest, we use the AK primer and it worked an absolute dream with it, no problem with it at all. And it's really starting to take shape now. It's going to come together very, very quickly now. I can't see any problems because we've got all the gear done and all the bits and pieces, so it should literally start to fall together. One thing I do absolutely love is the raised textures. Okay, I might have been, you know, I'd say quite a critic of the actual system about the riveting, but the raised detail for these wings and everything, even with the primer, I'm looking at it, it jumps. It really, really jumps. I think with the dry brush and with the sanding technique we'll do on it, we should end up with something looking uber realistic for little, you know, time to do it. So definitely well worth the investment like that. We did speak about obviously the reviews that have come in. I must admit I haven't even looked in the boxes of them yet. I know what's going to be in them. I've built them before. I might have been a little bit critical when I was talking about there. Obviously I know everybody can't get hold of the Bandai one, but when you put them side by side, as I'm going to do a review next week with them as a side-by-side comparison, you'll see how Bandai are light years ahead in everything. And it is that thing, it's down to money, because let's face it, even with the X-Wing, you know, Revell haven't made this. This isn't anything. This is even the original box art that actually was on the Fine Molds kit. So they haven't even done that. They're calling it their Master Series, which, you know, it means that somebody else made it. I was really hoping that Revell were going to call this, you know, a 30 quid kit and going to be under the Revell sort of, you know, ethos of, okay, you know, it's a slightly cheaper brand and everything. To then whack this thing out for 80 quid, I think is nothing short of criminal, especially when you can get hold of the Bandai one. Now, I know a lot of people can't get hold of the stuff because it's in Japan, but honestly, do a search. You know, there's lots of traders out there that I use. I know Steve uses the same guy as I do. Ask us in the forum and on the Q&As, we'll tell you who it is, okay? And they do excellent service. That's where all our Bandai stuff comes from, direct out of Japan with no problems, and it's here usually within a week as well. And to say the postage is more than fair, I don't know, I understand how he makes money, okay? But there's that. So I must admit, that was a little bit of a shock to see that one. But the Millennium Falcon, to be honest, you know, that's about the money it is. It just seems to be that, yeah, okay, they were going for stupid money on eBay, forget that. But they've always been the sort of 250 quid mark. But this thing, the X-Wing, I just thought seemed a little bit unfair. TIE Fighter's the same money. I can't understand why it doesn't come in. We ordered it, but it just didn't get put in without order, so it should be in next week anyway, so we can have a look at that one. Just to catch up, I had a couple of people ask me about the chair. What do I think of the chair now? I love it. When I sit in the other chairs, they feel really horrible, and I wish I could take this one around everywhere with me, but now I've got rid of the cushion and I sit in it. I've had no back pain sitting in this, and I have sat in it quite a bit today and yesterday as well, and yeah, it's really, really nice. No creaking, no squeaks, hisses, sounds, but what I do like about it is it's very good for the posture. It makes you sit properly. I think a lot of that is to do with the headrest. It stops you sort of slouching. But even if you do slouch, because it holds your body, it stops it to go. Thanks for all the feedback. Some of you found some very nice chairs out there. I have one that was 1,200 quid, and it was like, really? But that was a lot. But, you know, as you said, a lot of people have said 250 quid, that's nothing. You know, a good chair is around about 450 quid anyway. But I know a lot of people have also said that these things are overpriced, they're made in China, blah, blah, blah. But so far, so good. I haven't got a problem with it. But give me a couple of months and I'll give you a full follow-up to see how I've got on with it, if any bits are falling off, if anything stitching's going, if it's losing its comfiness and everything else. But so far, I have to say, I do like it. But I would recommend, if you could, go and have a sit in someone else's first to find out which one sort of fits your style and everything. But this one fits me absolutely perfect. So that's about it from me. Tomorrow, as I say, because we've done the reviews, you're going to get Steve's review up tomorrow on the actual Husky, which is a great little thing. I re-edited it. I'm no longer in it. Well, I'm in it a little bit on the corners, but no, not the face-to-face one, because we had another camera with me and Steve on camera together, but I don't think we needed that, so I've taken it out. So you can see Steve do his review tomorrow, and then on Friday, obviously I've got the Walrus with you, which is an absolute stunning kit. You can see that one, and then by Monday and everything else, you're going to have the next part of this one will be up with you. I'm probably going to do the reviews for the X-Wings and the bits and pieces will be up early next week. So as I said, I'm technically away Saturday, Sunday, and then I'm up to London for Monday and Tuesday as well. So a little bit all over the place over the next few days. So anyway, leave that with me. I'm going to crack on now with the FW190. Now we've got everything sorted and everything else, and I'll leave you to go and see the next part of the FW190 now.